Did you want to put your blanket over you? You're gonna be okay like that.
Put it over me?
Yeah, because that's what we were doing last time. We were to cover it up. But if you're fine like that, we're good. If
I
you're
don't know
okay.
what you mean by putting it over me.
Last time we were covered up talking.
Well,
You remember how we had the blankets over us? Like for me, I'm gonna. We don't have to. Matter of fact, we don't have to at all. Yeah, we can be just like this. This is fine. So I'm gonna ask you um, about the NCAA and what you thought.
Okay, and I look at this camera?
Yeah, that one. This is just some. This is just another angle. This is our main camera.
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hey, Coach. It was a great NCAA this year. What were your thoughts?
Well, you're absolutely right. It was very entertaining.
Yes.
The thing that I enjoyed probably the most is that all the teams had some very good players, and all the teams had some pretty good shooters, and most of the teams that played in the tournament played a good brand of defense. Of course, the game has gone differently, so with a 3-point shot, that's what you get a lot of from team to team.
Yes, and not all of us as fans could experience what it's like being in the NCAA, but for a coach perspective, you're going from 64 to 32 to 16 to 8-4 and then the championship. What was your thought process in each of those rounds? Like starting off at the 64, you're just getting started. You're entering the.
Gary, the most important game there is in the whole event is win the first game. Right. And so your mindset is, how do we get through this first game? Are we prepared to play? And hopefully during the season, your tournament have prepared you for the opening round. Now it depends on who will you open up against, and that's a guessing game because you really don't know it. It depends on what seed you get, where you open up. So the most important thing that I worry about is, how do I prepare my team to be ready for itself? Being ready for yourself will be ready for anyone that you play, in my estimation.
Right. And so you get to the first game, you win.
Right.
What's your thought process going into 32?
Okay. After you got by the first, just survive is the name of the game. And survival is the name of the game throughout the entire tournament. Okay, we go to game 2, we still have the same mindset that we had at game 1. We have to get through the game. We have to play our best each round. Now, whether or not I don't get that concerned about what they're playing, but who are taking the shots and where the shots are coming from that particular person. And our defense then has to cater to that. I'm more concerned about defensive stoppers than I am about us offensive attacking. So if my defense is playing the kind of basketball that I see they should be playing, then we got a very good chance of being successful in the ball game that we're playing in the second round.
Now pressure's getting high. Now you're down to the final 16. What is the thought process? Do you see a change in your players as you progressed in the tournament?
Well, there is a change, because the more you win and the closer you get to that final 4 as a team, the more pressure that is added. Now you're at 16 teams. You started with 64 or more, and now you're at 16 teams, which is that's an achievement.
Yes.
And then now you got an opportunity to get to the Elite 8, into the Final 4. I think, from my standpoint, and I hope our players' standpoint, is that we're going to take each game, and I know it's the old cliche, one at a time. But in reality, that's what it is. Let's just play this game the best we know how and the best we can, and where it falls, it falls. I would always encourage my guys that we're ready to play. And that's what's the bottom line. Are you ready? And if you're ready, you're going to have an opportunity to advance.
Advance, and so now, and you've been in all these stages. So Elite Eight, you're there, pressure again, and then now, how does confidence play a role?
Well, you've won those ball games, and sometimes it's to be an omen. It's something that impossible happens,
Right.
and when that takes place, it gives you a new life. It's kind of like the cat with nine lives.
Right.
When you get that new life, you got to take advantage of it. It's like in anything we do, anytime you get the opportunity to do something better, then you better get it done, else it won't be done. And so, getting to the final Elite Eight is the same pressure that I see going to the Sweet 16, going to the Elite Eight, going to the Final Four. Each one of those games, each one of those positions add an increased amount of pressure.
Yes. Now here we are, Final Four, a whole new realm of exposure, pictures, things of that nature. What was your thought process getting prepared with all of this fanfare, these new different things that you have to do prior to the game? Like, what was going on in your head?
Well, you're out of your environment, basically. You're out of your environment because of the fact that you're in the Final Four. You've got the media, you got the fans, you got families, you've got friends. I mean, you got so many people wishing you the best of luck at the same time, and of course your media is wanting to get to the top player, and you're hoping that it doesn't get them to the point where they're more concerned about what they say and how they say what they say. To me, I tried to keep our kids away from those situations where if there was anything to be answered, let me do the answering, and you do the playing.
Yes, yes. And so, championship game, you have been in a position where you've won a championship and you lost in the championship. What was the two things that you took away from those both experiences?
When we won, I mean, we had been there in 1990, and I thought we got there in 1990. We were just happy to be there. Final Four in 90. A young basketball team, and expecting to get some more opportunities to go there. When we got there in 94, 93, 94 season, it was a different animal for us, as the coaching and the staff was concerned, because we'd been there before.
Right.
But we didn't go there, I didn't think at that time, knowing that we might have a chance to win a national championship then. This time, when we go in 94, we believed that we could win a national championship. So that's a total different animal.
Yes.
When you go in and you say, hey, we're the best team in the country. We had proven ourselves for over 12, 13 weeks as carrying the number one spot all the way into the number one spot. And what did we do? We were able to finish the number one spot.
Right.
So that was the important thing that I thought in my head, is that let's get our team ready for a championship and not get ready just for the Final Four anymore.
Right. Now, on the flip side, you got there the following year, went through the same ranks, at that point people thought you were the favorite, and the game didn't go the way we all wanted it to.
No, it didn't, and it was a game which was very, of all the games we played, we didn't seem to have that little extra gear that we normally would shoot into. I blame myself because I'm the basketball coach, and before every ball game, my pep talk was how we should attack and how we should play and all those things. And I remember being honored as the most courageous award that morning before the game that night, and it brought back a lot of hurting memories of my daughter Yvonne, because she was involved in the movie or the film production that was in there, and I left that place very down as opposed to being fired up and ready to go to war. I'm one of those guys ready to go to war coaches, as opposed to one of those guys that just talk and not ready.
Right.
But I couldn't get my team and I couldn't get myself, I didn't think, in that frame of mind. I think when you're playing a national championship, you got to get in a certain frame of mind that you get in, and you stay with that, and your chances of winning. I don't think we ever got into that stage. And so, when whoever said that we were favorite, we were ranked, I guess, number 5 or 6 at that time. We were the 2nd seed in that tournament. UCLA was the number 1 team in the country. I don't think anyone remembered that, but it turned out to be what they were able to do is be the number 1 team, what we did the year before, right, being the number 1 team. So when you look at it after it's over with, you just think if we had played just a little bit better, played a little harder on defense, I don't know if I had pushed them to their limits, but at the same time, you never want to lose a basketball game, especially when you get to the not only the final 4, but you're in the final 2.
Right.
And it's only going to be one standing.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, leave us a comment. Basically, show us some love. And if you have a question for Coach Richardson or I, leave it in the comment box. You never know. It might be the question I ask in our next episode. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you the next go around with Conversations with Grandpa.